for you right now.
Okay.
Now that I have the resources.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, I got Telegram. I'm just searching out my stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason it doesn't work. Really pissed me off.
Mm.
Takes time to sync, I assume.
Well, just put it on send and then let's start. Okay, good. So why do governments mess up with free economy? And is it good or is it bad? So why? Actually, let's get one step back and let's talk about what type of economies do we know as, as borderline. So borderline.
So planned, mixed, free?
Yes. And the borderline are the free and the planned, right?
Well, yeah, mix is kind of a mixture of both.
Okay, so the laissez-faire method in the first case and the Soviet 5 years ahead planning on the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Which of these is good? Or actually, which of these is better?
Second, sir. My computer really doesn't want to work today. I don't know why it never happened before. Maybe it's because I have a VPN on. Yeah, they blocked everything.
Okay.
Can't even use VPN now. Well, I gotta turn that off.
Let's go on with the lesson, and then you can do it.
Yes. Well, it's just a little thing. You need to turn it off now.
So, which is better, the laissez-faire model or the Soviet 5 years ahead planning?
Laissez-faire. I've never heard of that model, to be
honest. Laissez-faire is not, free is the model. Laissez-faire is the way in which Adam Smith in 1820 something talked about this for the first time in his book about economy, which actually became, like a milestone. It's just a description. Laissez-faire is French, means let it be.
French.
Yes.
Okay.
So which of the two is better?
Well, I believe which of the two are free or planned?
Yes.
It depends.
Yes, exactly. So instead of hurrying to give a answer, we should give, like specifying questions like better for whom, and that is it anything better? Is there anything such as better? Anything such as better in economy? By the way, can you read my handwriting at the moment?
Sir, I can't even open the iDraw. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
This
Well,
computer is horrible.
Let's get.
It's actually way better than my own computer, my school computer. It's just a new MacBook Pro with all the things and stuff, but it has some restrictions, and now I'm just trying to.
Okay. Let me note everything down on iDrew. Use the old way, the old method of paper and pen, if possible, and let's.
I'm getting into it. I think.
Okay. So
under my demands.
So government kicks in to solve market failures. What is a market failure? And then
market failure is.
Yes.
Do you want me to answer that?
Yes.
Well, I believe market failure is when a business fails to supply the demand required.
I'm not talking about a single firm. I'm talking about the whole market.
Well, there's some sort of a shortage or surplus.
So there are non-efficient allocated resources.
Yeah.
Okay. Non-efficiently allocated resources. Good. What are the way in which sources can, mess up with the allocation? Well, externalities, both positive and negative. Public goods. When I say rival rows excludable as good, can you understand what I'm talking about?
Partly, yeah. I'm listening to you. That's okay. For sure, yeah.
And market power. So in these, even if markets are efficient, so firms are producing at the topmost of their capacity depending on the price, there may be unfair outcomes or unequal. Say too low wages for a too expensive wheat or milk or other, basic goods.
All right.
This is not good for anybody. So whenever the private marginal cost of something is different than the social marginal cost, someone is paying this extra cost. And this is loss of money. somewhere. So the government realigns private incentives with social welfare maximization.
Okay.
I'm writing it in the meantime. How can governments tackle economy? Well, the first case are indirect taxes. For instance, pollution. Would you quickly draw the demand supply curve with the effect of tax for a elastic and an inelastic supply curve?
1 second, sir.
Yes.
Success, sir.
Good.
I actually managed to get into the... Oop, I mean to do that. I just don't have my iPad with me today. That's the issue. I have 2 MacBooks, but I don't have an iPad. Is it here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Would you like to very quickly sketch me a graph similar to what we saw last time about taxes' effect on supply and demand? For instance, for pollution.
1 second, sir.
Yes.
Again, doing just the charger stuff. So that my computer doesn't run out of charge. I'm very unorganized today, honestly. Ow, that hurts. Okay. I got everything in place.
Good.
Now I can work. You said, sorry.
Please sketch quickly a graph for the indirect taxes about pollution. So the effect of a tax and the burden of a tax on consumers and suppliers.
Okay, so just a
very quickly,
curve.
yes, very with the effect of taxes, very quickly, small and neat.
1 to 3, 1 to 3, half to half, half to half. So, well, obviously, that's zooming out here. So that will be our, just close that here because I don't need it. So that will be, why can't I open it on my laptop? I don't get why, like, honestly, it's lagging and not working for some reason, but usually it works. It's like it's doing it on purpose. Well, it's never doing it on purpose, but just saying. Yes. So yeah, that would be
whenever there is a guilty party, it is always easier to understand, actually.
Okay, so let's see. That would be our quantity, right?
Yes.
That would be our price. Now you said production burden, right? Or consumer burden, or both?
Oh, well, both.
Okay, both. So we got our supply here, demand here. And now you want me to draw
the effect of a tax, of an indirect tax.
So we would have to have two graphs to show the burdens, kind of.
Well, you can do it on the same, otherwise it won't be easy to compare.
No, I feel like comparing would be harder. Like.
Okay, as you wish.
Wait, so for example, right? If we were covering it today, the taxes. If we have a tax, right?
Yes.
For producer burden tax, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The effect, the producers will pay more of that tax, right, than consumers. And the other way around when it's consumers' burden.
Well, there is always some trade-off. So there is always, the burden is always shared between suppliers and buyers, unless, I mean, in the case of an ideal elasticity or inelasticity. But since this is ideal, it doesn't exist. So there is not even a point to talk about it.
So I'm on my main laptop, my
yes.
Other computer. Not
Just show me the effect of a tax.
Well, in the effect of a tax, for example, the producers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a producer, let's write it down. Producers' burden, right? Producers will have to lower. I written lower the cost of the unit's production.
Exactly, the cost of production. And how is the only way, in the very short run, how is the only way to reduce the production cost?
In order to pay, 1 second, sir. In order to pay for the tax.
Yes.
Now, the only way to do such a thing in a short run, we know the short run is one factor of production, right?
Yes, and in the shorter run is no factor of production.
Maybe fire. Not fire.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that the only way to limit production costs is to produce less.
Mm-hmm.
Production costs are limited if you produce.
Can I post emojis here?
No, there is something.
No, I can't.
Okay. So, if we are producing less, can you show that on the supply curve?
Yes, I can.
Okay, please do that.
So we will see that. So that's the. Let me just try to remember how I did it today. So that's our initial price, right? Why is it curved? What is going on? So that's our initial price here. Right?
Yes.
Let me just write that down here. Blue. Bam. I need that straight. Bam, bam, bam. And now we can write tax. Not tax. Pre-tax price.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Now, when the tax are imposed,
yes,
the price will go up by a certain amount, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, for example, it'll go here.
Yes.
That's right. Now, this will be the post-tax price. Now,
hold on. For sake of simplicity, I would suggest to stop it here, and then I will explain why.
Okay. 3 here like this. Should be right.
Well, leave it there. We can talk about it later.
Talk about what? I don't really.
About that point. We will talk about it later.
Okay, let me just write producer's burden here so we don't get mixed up. It's very hard to write without a Apple Pencil.
You can use text anyway. If you wish, I can write it in your place.
Sorry, almost done with that. Burden. There we go. Okay, so now they have to cut the supply to pay the taxes. So what's the supply gonna do? Right, supply is going to decrease. Decrease means it's gonna go to the left.
Exactly. So the supply curve shifts left. To what point? You
said let's leave it here.
Yes.
So perhaps we can even show it.
Exactly.
On a line, kind of. We can show that it goes like this.
Exactly.
Why is it keep going curves? This pisses me off. There. Should be pretty much the supply curve. The new supply curve.
And then
supply 2. Supply 1. Now,
this was the quantity in the first case, and this is the quantity in the second case.
Yes, and this is the tax imposed here.
Right. Now
total tax imposed here. Yeah. Now or you can show the arrow here like this.
Yes, exactly. We always talk about taxes and subsidies using vertical distances. By the way, vertical distances, because just distances would be this one. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we have a variation in quantity. So let me put it here like delta Q.
What's variation in quantity?
Well, because of the taxes, suppliers must reduce the production. And so the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied get a variation.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Good. Now, let's talk about the consumer burden and the producer burden.
Mm-hmm.
On the graph.
All right, let's do that.
Any idea, or shall I go for that?
Let's see. Let me see.
Mm-hmm. You know, when
so now
using
sorry, you're going for what exactly again?
Consumer burden and supplier burden.
Okay, so that will be a bit different to producer's burden.
No, it's the same. Supplier and producers, they are synonyms.
Yeah, I'm talking about consumer.
Okay.
Consumer would be different. I can show consumer. I mean, it's basically the same thing, but with demand.
Yes, correct. Fancy to show that?
Yes, of course. Sure thing, sir. Bam, bam. 1.
I would do it on that graph, but okay, you are more than welcome to do it on another one.
Okay, yeah, sure. We can do it on that graph as well. That works for me. Let me just make all those lines let me just set those lines to straight so I don't have to do that afterwards. Okay, now let's have different colors here. Let's get a green
and yellow.
And yellow, right? Okay, let's get a yellow first then. Now, what are we trying to do here?
To show a burden. You choose which one first.
Let's do the consumer, because that's the one I'm familiar with.
Okay.
Right, so consumer. Actually, we have to write the description first, in my opinion. So what is consumer burden, right? Actually, we can continue that here. Consumer burden is when consumers are more, let's say that as well, more elastic.
No. The consumer's burden is the effect on the taxes that fall on the consumer side.
Oh, like, so they pay all of the taxes?
Well, how much of the tax we will see. Remember that there is nothing such as fall. There is always a trade-off.
They pay most of it.
We will see it now. Show that on the graph.
We'll have to pay the tax. Isn't it usually VAT?
Well, that's an idea, yes, an indirect tax, of course.
Well, consumer will have to pay the tax, increased tax in...
Actually, VAT...
value-added tax?
Yeah. It's almost only paid by the consumer. So that's not what I'm talking about.
I'm just trying to get the definition like the producer burden here. Consumer will have to pay the tax.
Look, let me lecture. Otherwise, we are wasting some time. So look, all this area here is all this area here up to the quantity that is demanded is the percentage of the tax paid by the suppliers.
Can I just do that a bit different?
Yes, please.
Like a highlight kind of thing?
Yes, please.
I feel like that could be a bit more. So we could have it like half transparent, yellow as well. So that would be this, right?
That is the burden of the tax on suppliers. So burden is from original price to new price among the old market price, the new, and the supply curve.
So isn't that going to be like the other way around, kind of?
That's consumers. Now, yes, up consumer, down suppliers.
Hard without a pencil. Bam, 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 bam. Because we want to have it neat as well, right? Like, so that we can kind of use it for revision.
Exactly.
Which I have to do very soon. We have MCQs every week now. I scored a C, 15 out of 25, by the way, on this paper. I can send it to you after
yes,
this
please.
class. Yeah, let's have that now. Okay, so burden of the tax on producers.
No, those ones are consumers because it's below the demand.
Oh, sorry, I messed up. Yeah, consumers, right? Let's not have suppliers. Let's have producers.
Okay.
It's kind of. Is it suppliers or producers?
It's both. It's both because they are synonyms. So
yeah,
whatever you like, we use.
Mostly used.
Everybody uses his own and thinks that that's the best. So.
Okay. I'll use producers then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, these are the burdens on the two parties. But what is most important is this little area here.
Interesting. Let me get another highlighter here.
Yes,
green,
please.
Perhaps green.
Okay.
That would be like good representative. Because we don't usually have green. That's not transparent. We need that here. No, that's horrible. Okay.
What is this triangle? Is the deadweight loss of the tax.
Sorry? Deadweight loss?
Yes, deadweight loss of the tax.
Weight loss.
Deadweight loss.
Deadweight.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't go to the loss of the tax.
Of the tax is money that is basically lost because the people, both producers and suppliers are paying for it, but this quantity of money, the green one, is just lost.
1 second, sir. Both consumers and producers are paying for it, right?
Yes, but nobody is getting of it. We have a simple, plain and simple reduction of quantity. So this money
what do you mean? Isn't the government getting that? So like you're saying government doesn't get both?
The government gets only this one because the tax are paid only on the quantity. So that money, the green one, is just lost. There was it before, but there is no with the tax.
As tax. Okay.
Okay. Now, let's have a look at what happens. Now, the
Sir,
two...
Yes,
please.
You may help me finish the consumer burden definition down there. Consumer will have to pay the bigger part. Okay, let's say consumer will have to pay a part of the tax.
Yes. Because
so, they will
they will just consume less.
They will pay more.
The price increases and the quantity decreases.
Okay.
So they receive lesser utility because they can't, enjoy the good as much as they wanted because the price went up. Hence, they can't afford it.
Because the price for which they could have gotten more quantity pre-tax has gone up, and now with the same amount of money they had, they can only enjoy fewer goods.
Exactly.
Therefore, decreasing their utility?
Yes.
Or utility of the product?
Their utility.
Their utility, okay. Right. Now that's done, yeah.
Okay, now let the demand change to the following. Now the demand changes.
This has pissed me off. Why does it highlight everything instead of one word? How do we highlight one word? But okay, whatever.
We draw the same supply, but this type of demand. And let me do it with lines because you know that you like it more. So the supply remains the same, but the demand gets like this.
More elastic.
Exactly. Now, can you show me the effect of the tax? And we again put the tax here.
Okay, so like this. So for example, our first equilibrium point would have been here. Now it's here. Meaning, 1 second. Meaning that our quantity is, let me just write that down. Here we got quantity. Here we got price. So P1, right? Why is everything in boxes? Oh my god. There we go. That's P2. Just get rid of that. Again, price, quantity, P2, say P1 kind of here, maybe a bit higher like this. This one's a bit higher like this. Now Q1 will be here. Q1 and Q2 will be here.
Yes.
So we can see that it's more elastic, right? So we can see that the change in quantity is way greater than the change in price, which basically tells us that the
demand is more elastic. Now, let's have a look at the burdens.
Now, burdens, right? We have two burdens that we have to really talk about, and then the third one will arrive, kind of appear. So, got that arrow looking one. We should have that. Yeah, it's huge in here. So, everything on top of the first line, let me kind of like move it a bit here, like this. Yeah, but you are kind of right. It's like this.
Make it look the same as here, so that then you can. It's gonna be more.
Yeah, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of these green arrows because they're unnecessary.
I agree.
Now, the top part will be consumers, right?
Yes.
The bottom one will be producers, as well. Obviously, like that doesn't just apply to burdens. Now, let's draw them. Let's have the first one in, let's say,
make it the same colors. Make it the same colors.
Oh, okay. So we had red there.
And yellow.
/ red and yellow. Right. Let's have that. So red here. Right. And before does it reach down? Until the point of until this point here. It reaches down until this point here.
Yes, precisely.
So it would be something like this. Till here. Well, until there. Let's have that. Bam. That's a line. Yellow. Bam.
Yes.
Now the green part will be this.
Exactly.
This one, this part here. Okay. Now let's outline them and specifically state what are those. Let's have that one here, that one here, and that one here. Right. Now for this one we have.
May I do it quickly? I want you to think about
I
something else. So consumer, sorry, not surplus, but burden.
Consumer,
then we have
producer,
yes,
wasted.
Producer, burden, and deadweight loss. Let me do that. Now, can you comment about the difference in the two graphs?
Yeah. In the second graph, because the demand is way more. Let's first line specify what is demand. Always have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's supply 1. That's supply 2 here. Now look, because the demand is more elastic, we can clearly see that the producers have to pay more of that tax.
Yes.
So the more elastic the demand is, the more do the producers have to pay.
Yes. So the side
and the vice versa. If the more inelastic, the more consumers have to pay.
Elastic side pays less. Good. Now, let me quickly go on very quickly. For subsidies and positive externalities, it works exactly the same. We then have other instruments for government control, which is price floor and ceilings. But we have already talked about it in the previous lessons, and I don't want to waste time now. Mm-hmm. Then there are other couple of methods, which are nationalization and direct provision. Again, in the case of planned economy. So this can go for supply key goods. Key goods like education, health, infrastructures. And what is the reason? Equity. So the government basically hasn't got any interest in it. So it never works out that the government is making profit and keeping it by itself. It's not that politician, at least it should not be that politicians split the money that the government is making up with taxes among themselves, but it is reinvested into infrastructures, that's why in the long run the profit of each company must be zero. And universal access. Then you have regulation and legislation. With the goal of put socially efficient outcomes. Example of this are quality standards, and safety laws. Okay. Now, there is a quick table that I can tell you or send later. But before that, I would like to quickly talk about it, discuss it. So what is, for instance, I will actually send you the table because that can help. What is the positive effect of price ceilings? So, example. Pros of price ceilings.
Pros of ceilings. Well, ceilings. What does ceilings give us? Ceilings force the production, the producers to stop at a certain price, and so that they cannot go any higher.
Yes.
Perhaps that could help out with the surplus.
Well, leave the surplus be. Affordability. So everybody is going to be able to buy a piece of bread as long as they hurry up for that. Because what is the contra? What may a price ceiling lead to?
Over time?
Yes.
To shortages.
Exactly. What about subsidies? Pros of subsidies. I think we have time to cover them all.
Pros of subsidies, right? Increase competition, innovation.
Well,
reduce prices.
Well, we use subsidies for merit goods and public goods, which are underused because people are not perceiving the full benefit of them. So they encourage merit goods and eventually boost employment. These are examples, you can word them the way you wish. What are the contras of subsidies?
Contras of subsidies.
Contra or drawbacks, as you want to call them.
cons. Well, maybe market failure.
Well, there is always a market failure here. There is always, because there is a deadweight loss.
So how can subsidies be bad? Bad to what? Bad to whom? To the market?
Well, for someone, they are always going to be bad because there is a deadweight loss. So someone is losing. The society is losing, actually.
So let's say.
Look, fiscal cost.
A business could lead. I don't really recall the policy, sir.
Okay.
I do know there's fiscal monetary, but I don't recall.
Well, subsidies require a lot of fiscal costs because the government is paying a lot, but not all of that money is gotten by someone. There is a deadweight loss.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be inefficiency in the allocation of such benefits, corruption and all that stuff.
Okay, right.
Now, let's talk about this. By the way, I would leave you as a short prep to talk about the two things that we are not touching if we are leaving something out, about pros and cons. Pros of taxes on the merit goods.
Okay.
What are the pros?
Fewer externalities, negative externalities.
Yes, so we reduce the externalities, reduce externalities.
Because there's also positive externalities.
Indeed.
I believe.
Yes. There are. Reduce negative.
I see you getting more and more used to that still, sir.
Yeah, thanks. And we raise revenue for the government.
Right.
What are the cons, though?
That costs. That tax is gonna go on people.
Exactly. So we have inflation and potentially regression. Though taxes, especially on the merit goods, are the best way for the government to raise up money. I mean, tobacco is a gold mine, if not diamond.
Okay.
Good. Pros.
So
I want to go on till the end of our 60 minutes so that I don't like feeling like I am in debt of something. Of regulation. So what if we have a lot of laws and norms on regulation, on something?
Safety.
Yes.
Healthy, safety.
Quality.
Safety.
Quality.
Yeah, in a way.
But what is the con? What in Russia is really loved? Bureaucracy. And compliance cost. What does this mean about the compliance costs? A very quick wording.
Not sure, sir.
Well, writing, establishing, and enforcing rules cost, basically, because you need people to write that norms and that the regulations, you need people to evaluate them, and you have people like policemen that say that have the executive power to enforce those rules. So what if a firm is violating the regulation? What happens? Someone has to check it. And again, here you have the possible human factor of corruption and so on, so you can buy your way out. And all this are compliance costs.
Well, perhaps.
What about redistribution, which is the last one?
Redistribution. Well, great resource allocation and maybe no inefficiency.
That's the land of wonders, wonderland actually. So we have less inequality if taxes are proportional, but there is the strong con that you have a negative incentive or disincentive to work. Like in Italy, example. So in Italy, you are taxed the 40% on the first job. The 55 on the second, and over 70 on the third. So why working more? And this is a disincentive, because if you were not taxed more, whether you earned more, then you would produce more. This is something that is never actually looked at. If you earn more, if a firm earns more, it produces more. That's making everybody happy because it's generating welfare. And basically,